Welcome to the Build Your Beautiful Business podcast with your host, Julie C Butler. If you're looking to build the business of your dreams, then this is the space you want to be in. Join Julie as she talks about ways that you can successfully scale your profitable dream business, one that will give you ultimate time freedom and the abundant lifestyle you deserve. Julie will take you by the hand, sharing with you her business savvy strategies as she chats it up with her favorite online entrepreneurs. You'll get a weekly dose of boosted confidence as you learn as they reveal their insight, tips, and tools that you need to start building a profitable dream business of your own, one that you'll love and that works for you on autopilot.
Hey there, welcome back to the BBB podcast. I'm your host, Julie C Butler. Today we have the beautiful Dawn Gaden with us. Dawn is the CEO of Mind Body Counseling and Coaching, international speaker and best-selling author. Her global coaching program, The Self-Made Shift, helps professional women get unstuck from limiting beliefs and rewire their brain for success. Dawn is a licensed counselor, self-image coach, verified Intensity leader, and registered yoga teacher. She shares her passion and knowledge in how beliefs change your biology, changing the brain with exercise, and how mindfulness creates empowered. So today we have Dawn Gaden.
Gaden.
Did I say it right? Gaden, Dawn Gaden. I'm French, so sometimes I pronounce it like I call it because I'm French. So Gaden. Dawn, welcome to the show. I'm so excited. We just had a conversation. We met for the first time face-to-face today. So it's so nice to meet new people and make new relationships. Hi, I'm so happy. Thank you so much for being on the show, Dawn.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm excited for our conversation. It's like we were saying, it's fun to meet people, meet new people around the world, just from here, from where we're at. So great.
Right? Like it's so easy now. And, like being an entrepreneur and a solopreneur or starting a business doesn't have to be lonely, right? You hear it all the time. And they're like, running your own business can be lonely. And I'm like, I disagree.
Yeah, I think it's choice. Like I often will say choice is your superpower. Choose. Yeah, if you want to stay, because I've been in that flow of like just at home and at my desk and creating content and all that good stuff. And it's like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm the only one in the planet. Or I can choose to get out and meet people and talk to people, right? So choose how we want to experience what we're creating for ourselves.
And I feel that we can attract that. And we're going to talk about like our thoughts create our reality today, because that's what Dawn is the expert at. And so this is something that I'm really passionate about also. And so I'm excited to talk about that. But like you said, right? Like we choose, but also we can attract those connections, right? Like sometimes if you want to start, being a guest on podcasts, well, that's a good way of meeting new people. Or if you participate in summits or other live events, or if you're in Facebook groups and you feel that you have a connection with someone, you can start building that relationship, that genuine relationship with someone by just sometimes just sending them a message and saying, hey, I really love what you did, and not being those spammy, the messages that you get that they're scripted and they're all the same.
Yes. And you can pull them out of a haystack. Like, no, just be real, be authentic. That's all you have to do to make connections.
Absolutely. So Dawn, before we get going into the whole our thoughts create our reality, I would love for you to take a moment to introduce yourself.
Oh, sure. Yes, thank you. So I'm Dawn Gaden. I am a licensed counselor, been a licensed counselor for 23 years, certified in complementary medicine and wellness. And I chose my program because my licensing program offered the certification. Many psychology programs way back 23 years ago, it was just psychology, social work, and, couples therapy or youth, adult, one-on-one therapy or youth therapy. And I'm like, no, there's this whole part of us. So that's why I chose what I do. And that's why I can pull in all this good stuff, which I also pull in my yoga tools because I'm a yoga teacher, coach, self-image coach. I talk a lot about self-image, which is that whole story about who we are, what we think who we are, the words we tell ourselves, the story we tell ourselves. And I also teach a really cool practice called Intensati. I was trained in New York City back in 2016, used the practice since 2007 through raising 4 boys, through my cancer journey. It's a practice of movement with mantras, meditation, and it's a high energy kind of practice, but using powerful, positive words. So I teach that. That's like the love. I love teaching that practice because I see it shift so many people and myself. I'm in Brighton, Michigan, and I love what I do. I love working with people. I love helping people find the love for their life, find their worthiness. So many people feel unworthy, and it's like, it's there, it's in there. You just gotta uncover it.
That's right.
Work I do.
And I think like probably starting with awareness, right? Like knowing that, that we are worthy and there's something bigger and better for us out there, and uncovering that. And, going in with, I think, a positive mindset, and knowing that like this is going to be a fun journey, right? Like let's discover this more.
And it's a journey, and it's a fun journey of enjoying and just flowing with the ups and downs. There's no like, this sucks or this is great. It's like, oh, it's part of what it is. And we can get really excited, and sure, we can get down, but don't stay where we don't want to stay.
Right.
Stay in the journey of just, this is what life is about, and how fun it is to notice. Like, awareness is the first step. And I have my own little idea of what the stages of change, and awareness is number one. You have to see what you're thinking all day long.
Yeah.
And you have this awareness, and my clients will say, I see it, but I can't interrupt it. And I said, good, you're at the right stage. You're seeing it. It's not really where you want to be. The next stage is being able to interrupt it, being able to stop the thought in your head, pause. And then the next step is really to change the thought. I choose a different thought. I choose to think differently. Because we get caught up in this, oh my gosh, I'm saying these nasty things, or I'm doing this thing that doesn't feel good, but I'm on autopilot. I can't get out of it. I can't stop myself. A fight, an argument, or a disagreement. Okay, you're aware of it. That's good. Eventually we interrupt it. We just stop it, and then we change it. We add something new. And so it's a journey of that.
Yeah. So that's good, because I think that way too many of us will get stuck in that place after awareness, right? And we're like, how do I change it?
Right.
And so it's kind of like, we need to give ourselves permission, right? To stop overthinking it. And like, it doesn't serve us to stay stuck in that, excuse my language, but stupid place, right? Like we need, and we must move on and move forward into the light, because that is where we are meant to be. This is where we are meant to shine. And this is where we are meant to make a difference, right? And so I want to talk to you about meditation.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think that meditation is a tool, right? Like a mind training tool. And I know that you're passionate about this, and you talk about using meditation to rewire our brains for success, or rewire our brains for our dreams becoming reality.
Yes. Meditation. So when I first discovered meditation, I was 18. I was at my freshman year in college, and school was really hard for me. I couldn't pass a test. I had test anxiety and things. Comprehension issues. But I knew I wanted to go to college because I wanted to get a degree in counseling psychology. And that was the journey back then in the 80s. There was no coaching certificate. It was college or nothing, or not. But I struggled. And I was struggling with insomnia, panic attacks, anxiety. I couldn't sleep. And I had my first panic attack in the front row of a class at a university. I mean, I sat front row, I took notes, I recorded lectures, because absorbing information was really challenging. It wouldn't stick. So I was doing everything I could, and I had a panic attack, and it was the worst experience. You remember those moments clear as day. Front row, I had to walk out of the class, sweating, shaking, thought I was going to have a heart attack. I didn't know what was happening. Got to the bathroom and realized this was a panic attack. So I knew, what was happening. I'm like, well, this isn't going to work. Like, if I want to be this person over here, successful, happy, loving, a good mom, a professional, living my life. I can't be this like scared, panicky 18-year-old struggling, and I can't learn. And what if I fail? And what if all these thoughts, right? And so as we did back in the 80s, we went to the doctor, and as the norm is here's a pill. And I thought, that's not going to work for me. That's not going to change this. That'll numb things out a little bit, but that's about it. Not my idea of a good time. So I thought, well, there's got to be another way. I always thought that there's always another way. Possibilities endless. And I don't remember how, but I came across meditation. My first two was the Silva Ultra Mind program, which is fascinating, and Shakti Gawain, visualization, guided meditations. And I thought, okay, I can do this. I bought a little cassette player with cassettes. It was a tape cassette player.
You're bringing us back, Dawn. You're bringing us back.
Way back to the 80s. And I thought, well, I can't sleep anyway, because I'm spending all day studying. I was not the one that like partied too hard, and that's why I didn't do on school. It was study, panic attack, anxiety. So I thought, well, I can't sleep anyway. I'll listen while I sleep, because I knew what was keeping me in that state of anxiety, which was the negative thinking. This is really hard. What if I can't do it? What if I'm not for this? I'm not meant for this. I was like the first of my entire family, and I have like 15 cousins to go to school. Like I'm from a blue collar family. So it was a big deal. Nobody to pave the way for me. I was the one. So I thought, well, maybe I'm not meant for this. People in my school, when I was in college, they were going to school for an MRS degree. They were going to find the guy, the husband, to take care of them. They didn't care what degree. I didn't want that. I wanted my own thing. So I had to get rid of the thoughts. I had to change the thoughts that were, I can do this. I'm doing my best. I'm okay. I'm at ease, because there's no amount of stress that's going to create ease for me. We had to change the story. I had to change the story. So the meditations calm the nervous system, right? It's just the nervous system on high alert, gone haywire, fight or flight, that's causing the panic, because I've been telling myself, this is really hard. What if I can't make it? I can't take another test. And then it builds up. So listening to guided meditations helped me see another story. I'm at ease. I've got this. I'm confident. There's always another way. Anything's possible. And I began to sleep, and panic attacks went away. And I'm like, well, this is it. This is gold. This is my magic pill. I call meditation my magic pill. It's what works, and it works for everybody. It works. If we do it, it takes practice. So that's the power of meditation, and why I believe in it 100%.
Yeah. So, and it's true, right? Like, that's the thing with like, our thoughts create our reality, the law of attraction and all that. The thing is that it works whether you know it or not, right? It's always working. It doesn't turn off. It doesn't take a day off.
Yes. Right?
Right?
I'll often tell people, brainwash yourself for good, because we're brainwashing ourselves with all the stories that we collected along the way, like from growing up, from who raised us, from our experiences. That's just the way the brain absorbs things. But if we're aware of that, back to that awareness, if we're aware of that, now we can decide, oh, let's change the story, because we get really clear on what the story is. Oh, I'm not good enough. There's not enough in my life. I'm unhappy. We're not supposed to be happy. We're just supposed to work and then die, and blah, blah, all the stories. But if we notice, like, wait a minute, I want a different story. And then we decide those different thoughts, those different, that different conversation with yourself, we create the new story, the new message, that new brainwashing for good. So whether, like you said, whether you're brainwashing, whatever you're doing, you're brainwashing yourself, whether it's negative, I'm not good enough to, or I'm amazing. Anything's possible.
Mm-hmm. And so what are your tips for someone who wants to meditate? Like, first, for me, for example, like I want to, but it's kind of like, there's so many apps, and there's so many, like, you can find it on YouTube, and like, is there some sources that we can go to that we can start with? Like, how I think like a lot of us were creatives, right? And we have busy minds and stuff like that. So I think that for me, it's kind of like, oh, we lead busy lives all together, right? And so taking that time out of, for example, for me, out of, working my awesome business, right, to go and sit, and meditate, I have a hard time kind of carving out the time for it. Also, what do I listen to? Right?
Right. Yes. So one thing is knowing that when we give ourselves that time, everything is going to amplify 10 times better when we slow down. We're caught in the story of do to create. And even if it's the things we love, we can get wrapped up in the doing. So this is how I describe it. We're mental, physical, spiritual, emotional beings. And if we're not tapped into the spiritual side of who we are, we're ignoring or putting off a very important part of who we are. So we have to address all of us. Like the doing is important, the thinking is important, the emotional life, but the spiritual connection. And that's how I use meditation, is to calm the body, calm the mind, and tune in to feed that part of us that needs to be fed in order for us to live really abundant, healthy lives. So often what I tell people first to do, 1 minute, literally 1 minute every day, set a timer on your phone, 1 minute, and breathe, tuning into your breath. And that's all you have to tell yourself. I'm just breathing. I'm feeling my inhale and exhale. I'm breathing. That's it. I'm breathing. That's it. I'm here and I'm breathing. And then as that starts to be that practice, like, because we are creatures of habit. So again, 1 minute every day, 7 days a week, 1 minute every day. When you get into the routine of just showing up for yourself and being in that moment, add a minute, add 3 minutes, go to 5 minutes, go to 10 minutes to get really tuned in and aware. So that's my first practice. Another resource is I use an app, and I actually have meditations on the app called Insight Timer. I like Insight Timer. There's a bunch of professionals, experts in meditation and breath work and all that good stuff. I like the app. That's why I provide my meditations there. And it's anywhere from 5 minutes to 20 minutes to an hour. And you can type in positive thinking or breathing or confidence, and you can find meditations that align with what you're looking for. So, and I even have ones that have just affirmations. So breathing, sitting, I'm powerful beyond measure. I'm stronger than I think. I am brave. I believe in myself. Just that I ams, the I ams of just changing the story, and maybe a few minutes of that. Once you get comfortable with your breath and just breathing, then start adding in those I ams. What I recommend as a little like side note is, if we get caught up in I can't do this, this is really hard, I can't focus, I got to get up, what I'll recommend first is to write, paper to pen, pen to paper, all the junk. I think this is going to be hard. I have a lot of don't want to's, and I can'ts in my head. Like, kind of dump, weed out the junk so that you make room. I picture it like a garden that's full of weeds. Like a garden is beautiful garden, but it's full of weeds, and weeds are whatever we decide they are. But it's so full of the weeds, things we don't want. And then we go to plant a little, tomato plant, and it can't survive because there's no space. And so we got to pull out and weed out the junk that we don't like. I don't want to. This is really hard. I don't believe in myself. I'm not good enough. We got to weed that out. And then we create this space for the good to take root. So that's another practice I like to add in before meditation.
Good. And really, you just have to start, right? So, and we don't have to wait for Monday to start. We can do it today. We can carve out, a minute or 5 minutes, right? For you to get set up and situated and all that. Or even probably you can see that at your desk, right? Do
Anywhere.
You have to be legs
right.
crossed and like this?
No. So anywhere, right? Some people will do a walking meditation, or something sitting at right now, sitting when we get off this call. If I wanted to, if I choose to, I could shut things off and sit right here on my desk in a chair for 1 minute. You don't have to you could be washing the dishes and be in this state of, I'm just washing the dishes. Be present. Mindful meditation, one pointed focus, be present. There's a quote, it's, and I don't remember where it came from, but it was, before I was enlightened, I carried water and chopped wood. After I was enlightened, I carried water and chopped wood. We're still doing what we're doing, but can we do a way of mindfulness? I'm so grateful for these dishes I'm washing. I'm really excited for this the beautiful view out my window at my kitchen, right? Like, can we just be in the mindfulness place? There's a different like neural pathways or electromagnetic energy that's happening when you're sitting and really tuned in versus if you are active doing the dishes. But take the step and do something. Take that step and just do, start somewhere. And ultimately, if you can, when you choose to, not if you can try to sit, close your eyes, breathe for a minute without having to do. We're really good at doing.
Yeah.
We're really good at making sure our hair looks good when we go out into the world and getting dressed and brushing our teeth. And we're really good at the physical, cleaning the house and running here and there. But can we really start strengthening the being part of who we are? It's really important. And I think it's kind of lacking in so many of us. We get caught up. And I've been there. I know it. Like, come back to breath. Come back to just being. Gratitude, huge piece to meditation. Just be grateful. I'm so grateful for my breath. I'm grateful for the sky, the blue sky. I'm grateful for the rain that nourishes the ground. Grateful. It's another piece that's really helpful.
I love it. Okay, next topic. That was good though. And I'm sure we could talk about it all day. Right? It's one of those things. Okay, so I had movement with powerful, positive words elevates your energy and creates a positive state of being.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What does that mean? Tell us more about that.
Oh, okay. Intensati is a practice created by a woman named Patricia Moreno. And it is a practice it's a high energy cardio workout. So it blends dance, martial arts, and yoga. So it is about igniting the mental, physical, spiritual, emotional parts of who we are in one place, like all in one. And so when we move, so we have affirmations when we move the body. So it's a call and response class. So when we're moving the body, we might be using a move called strong. So we're punching. I'm stronger today. I'm better in every way. I'm inspired to be the best that I can be. That would be like 4 affirmations. And we have a move with every affirmation. So we move the body, we sweat, we laugh, we cry, because we're really tapping into all those parts of us to really ignite our truth, our joy, because that's who we are at our core. So the practice, if you come to a class that's a 1-hour class, we start with an intention. So like October, this month, our series is called Reprogram from Love. And we're using the book and the practices from the 4 Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz. So each block of moves, so a block is 4 moves, 4 affirmations, and there's 4 agreements. So the affirmations align with those agreements. So we move the body, speak these powerful words as we go through this practice. And so we start breathing, moving with breath and movement, and then we do the high energy movements. Then we do a nice lower body, and then we meditate at the end to just sort of embody the whole amount of energy that we create. So it's a practice I love. It's a practice I did when I was raising my kids. I found DVDs. And because I was more of an at-home, like I worked part-time when my kids were little. I stayed home with my kids. So I would work out in my living room, play the DVDs, and my kids would run around under my feet, and I'm shouting these affirmations and moving my body. And then I was diagnosed with cancer in 2010. And then again, it's lymphoma, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So it would kind of come and go as it pleases. And in 2016, I had to kind of face some decisions about treatment and the journey and all that good stuff, what I was going to do, and really struggling. And my husband said, you have to go do your intensati. You always feel better. Your mind is clear. When you do this, you're moving your body, you're tapping into your genius, like you're feeling good, like you're changing the story of, what am I going to do? I don't want to do chemo. I don't want this sucks. Who wants cancer? Right. All this crap in your, he's like, go do your intensati. It clears the path. I said, you're right. So I'm doing this practice. And it was October 2016. And I'm moving my body. I have the TV on and my video going, and it's loud, and my husband's taking care of the kids, and it like hit me. I'm like, this feels so good. Like in the midst of all these decisions I have to make, I feel so good, like empowered to make good decisions for myself. I have to teach this. I have to go to New York and teach this for people. And so I went online and I found November, a month later, they have a training. So I tell my husband, I'm going to New York next month and I'm taking this training. He's like, okay, can I come? I said, of course, come with me, go play in the city while I learn. So it was an intensive training in New York City to teach this practice to students. I do it one-on-one with my clients. Sometimes I'm like, when we do a Zoom session, she's like, can we just do Intensati? I need to get up, I need to move. Absolutely. Or I have a class actually every Tuesdays in the evening, local, in person, where we work out together, we move the body together, we speak these words together. So passion.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And I guess that if you didn't do it specifically this, you could even just go for a walk, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yep. So yeah, anytime, that's a really good example. So I was on a trip years ago, and we were climbing, it was in California, we were climbing this really, really big hill, and I was not feeling good. I was just not feeling good. But I'm like, we're in California, we're on a vacation. I have to do this. I want to do this. And so I found myself like climbing this hill. It was a little mountain. It was bigger than a hill, at least bigger than what we have in Michigan. And I don't remember the elevation, 3,000. I don't know. So, and I was like, why don't I feel good? I don't feel good. My stomach hurts. And I caught myself, right? That awareness, catch myself. I'm like, Dawn, you know better. Okay, I got this. And again, I know better, but no judgment. I'm not going to beat myself up. Why am I doing this to myself? I shouldn't. No, I just, wake up, catch it and go, okay, I got it. So I'm hiking. And I'm like, I'm powerful beyond measure. I'm stronger than I think. I'm braver than I seem. I'm blessed with all I need. I'm enough. I have enough. I'm grounded today. I'm empowered. I'm safe, all the way up. That's like an hour. It was like an hour hike. And I'm like, feel better. So even if you're just going through your day and moving, the thoughts create that I have energy. They have a frequency and they change then how the body responds and how we start to feel.
That's cool. That's cool. No, because our emotions have an energetic frequency, right? And we can choose how we feel. I should remind myself that next time I don't feel like going for a walk, right? So how does that work together, right?
Yeah. And we have a loop. I think we create a loop where, like, what comes first, the emotion or the thought, right? I tend to believe when conversations go on, I'm like, thought comes first. I had a thought, I don't know if I can get through college. I had a thought, I don't know if I can pass this next test. And then all of a sudden my body constricts. I don't feel like I'm strong. I'm not smart enough. I don't feel good. And then I go into this panic. Then the fight or flight response goes, danger, danger, danger. And then it becomes a loop where we feel it before we think it, or we don't even know what's happening. And so I believe, start with our thoughts. Sometimes we start with, how do I feel? I want to be happy. I want to feel at ease. Okay, what does that feel like? I don't know what it feels like, but I know what it looks like. Okay, create the image in your mind. Happy looks like walking on the beach. Happy looks like money in my bank account. Happiness looks like the partner that I, spend evenings with, having nice dinners with. Okay, those thoughts become visions. Okay, now feel what it feels like when you're walking on the beach with that person you love. Oh, my shoulders drop. My heart opens. I feel light, like I'm walking lighter. We feel the energy, the emotion, ease, happiness, and the frequency up here. So we feel lighter. And so that's why we have to really put it all together. And that's why I think Intensati is so powerful, because we put the thoughts and images and the emotions as we move the body all in one. And we can do it in a meditation or walking, but those are the pieces. That's what really creates the energy shift that we want in order to live the life that we want to live and feel how we want to feel.
Yeah. And it's a package deal, all of it, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're mental, physical, spiritual, emotional beings. So how do we nurture and feed those parts of us in a way that really allows us to then live the best life we want to live?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so you ended your panic attacks. And I'm sure that like there's some listeners here that maybe it's not panic attacks, right? Maybe it's just the constant, the constant voices in their head, or the feeling of being stuck in that place all the time. And so how can meditation change our beliefs into stopping the panic attacks, stopping the stress, because not all of us have panic attacks, right? Some of us would just have stress and, just heavy on our shoulders, and whatever that looks like for you, if you're listening, or just that feeling of being stuck in that place all the time and not being able to move past whatever it is.
Right. And remembering that belief is just a thought we think over and over and over. That's all it is. And so it's deciding, what do I want to believe instead? I want to believe I'm at ease. I want to believe I enjoy my days. I want to believe that I love my life. And so one thing I'm doing right now consistently, and I teach, is a vision statement or a self-image statement. And basically I write out all my I ams. I'm so happy and grateful. I was a student of Bob Proctor for a year. He was one of the best personal development teachers. And he would start out those statements, like what you want, your desire, your goal. And I am so happy and grateful now that I am at ease. I love my days. I live the best life. I'm confident. I make $100,000 a year, whatever it is. I have a house on the beach. I live in Costa Rica. Whatever. I take my trip to Italy, whatever it is. I am so happy and grateful now that I am. And we say it every day, and we write it every day. And so what I'm doing is, mine's like it's 37 minutes because I've written it out, detail. I spend time with my kids. I'm with my spouse. I live in this house. This is how my work looks like. These are the people I tracked in. And I'll give a lot of detail on what it looks like. And you record it in your voice. And you listen to it every day. And that's changing this. And it could be simple as, it doesn't have to be 37 minutes. It can be 5. I'm so happy and grateful now that I enjoy my days. I feel at ease and I love my life and I make good choices for myself and I celebrate my wins. I'm so grateful for my home and my kids and all that I have. Just that that was what, I don't even know, 30 seconds. Just that every day starts to remove this, like being in a state of just constant tension or stress. And the I ams are important because, and this is kind of tough for some people to understand, because they'll say, I'm not in the home I want. I'm not in the family I desire. I don't have the family I desire. I don't have the income I want. I want it. I want it. Well, the want energy is different than the I am energy. Wanting creates more wanting. And so the I am, and this can be a whole lesson, right? And a whole day discussion because it's really deep. But I am, if you can imagine and think the thoughts of I am, how does it feel if you're in that relationship, career, job, home? Ease, joy, happiness, because we have to create that feeling to create the state. And then we practice it every day, flex the muscle of the mind in that way. Then we start to make decisions that align. And I say, we become that magnet for success. And then what we want out here finds us. We open this doorway. We're shining this light, this is who I am. This is what my life shines so bright. Oh, this opportunity shows up. Oh, yes. I was looking for you, or I wasn't looking for you. I was just setting my light out and you found me. And so that's one of the practices I think is so powerful for creating just an everyday state of just being happy and appreciative of.
Yeah. And it's so easy to start, right? You don't need a course. You don't need, you can literally just get off this call or this recording and this podcast episode and go and do it now. You don't have to wait. You can start now. So you have a 3-minute mindset reset for success. What is that? Is that a meditation or
it's
recording?
All of it. It's intensati in 3 minutes using these. You get 16 affirmations, a video of me moving. So you have the moves if you want to get up and move.
Ooh.
And so there's a video that's longer than 3 minutes of explaining how to do it, demonstrating how to do it. and then 3 minutes to do it with me. So you're moving the body with these affirmations. There's also like a printout of the affirmations if you just want the printout, and read those every day. And so it's about really creating more joy, right? And all it takes is 3 minutes every day to just start, just begin.
Just start. So no excuse now. You have a resource.
Yes, it's so
Right?
good, so fun. In just 3 minutes, you can shift your brain and reset.
I love it. So I'm going to have that in the show notes. Make sure you go grab that. Even if you think that you don't want to do it, grab it anyway, because then you'll have it whenever you're ready. That was so great. So Dawn, if people are listening and they're really vibing with you, where can they find you and how can they work with you?
Yes, absolutely. So it's super simple. My website, dawngaden.com. And I have all my Intensati videos on YouTube, my YouTube channel, and Facebook and Instagram. So I'm all over the place. If you look up Dawn Gaden, my coaching program is called The Image Shift. So if you land on my Facebook page, LinkedIn, Instagram, and you see The Image shift into your best self, you know you found me. And you can work with me. I have a group coaching program that takes us through it's a 7-month coaching program because it takes us through the chakras, the energy centers. So we address every month, we address the energy center of the body that we may have some blocks in, and then how do we clear the path to create that healing? So we continue to create the joy and the love and the unlimited thinking that we can in our life.
Yeah. Amazing. Oh, that's so wonderful. So, well, it's been so great meeting you and talking to you, Dawn. I love this topic so much. And I'm sure that people listening feel the same way. So thank you again so much for being on the show. It's been so great talking to you.
Thank you. You too. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome. And if you're listening to this, I will talk to you on the next episode.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Build Your Beautiful Business podcast. If you did, please make sure to subscribe, rate, and review the show on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Julie's included a link in the shows to make it nice and easy for you. And if you want to create a beautiful, profitable business of your own, make sure to go unlock your access to Julie's 6 must-have resources for female entrepreneurs. These resources will help you build and grow your business with simplicity and ease. You can find them at juliecbutler.com/freebie vault. We'll see you in the next episode.